Before this video starts, I want you to go and have a look at my previous video because I'm running a wee competition where you can win one of these hoodies. They're probably going to be a slightly different design from this one. So CraigDoesDrift on the back. This bit's going to be a bit different. But in the previous video, I showed you Josh Stuff's car, the new car that I've bought. And there's a question in there. So go back, have a wee watch of that, see if you can guess what the hydro handle was made from. Put it in the comments on that video, and then probably around BDC at Driftland I'm going to be giving away one of these hoodies, and maybe if my car is working you can come out for a passenger ride too. Right, back to the video. This sucks. So you've seen in the last video, no oil pressure. Now what we're about to do, pull the whole front of this thing off, get to the oil pump. Now the problem with these things is the oil pump is buried in there. You can't do it with it. You maybe could do it with it in the engine bay, but it's really tight. So what we're going to do is there's something up with the oil pump that I put in here. I bought a pump that was like a lot of the stuff that's gone on this engine was like came off an engine that had barely done anything. A lot of it was meant to be new. But one of the things was the pump came in like a million different pieces. So, well, not a million. There's only like, I don't know, 7 pieces involved in the pump. Some gears, the housing, and then a pressure relief. But we put it on, we've turned it over enough that it's like it should have made pressure by now. And because we got it as a bit in a lot of different pieces, we're like, instead of trying to see if that's going to work, the safest thing to do, let's just pull it out. And I have another pump on the way, so there's an upgraded pump coming, and hopefully it should be here in the next few hours. It's an uprated one, and when that's here we'll show you, we'll let you see what that is. But at the moment we need to pull all that apart and then put it back in the hole, which totally sucks, but it's way safer than us continuing with something that might not be working. So this is going to suck. Round 2. This time are we going to get oil pressure? Baby has oil! So happy to see that.
I'm so happy to see that too.
Oh my god.
Right.
Oh, fuck yes. Well done, dude.
With the boat making the engine apart, completely stripped.
And now, 7 days later.
7 days later.
Here we go, first, might be first fire. We have. Yes! Boom! 45, 47 PSI, and the car's at like 68. Now we got running just thinner oil in her at the moment, just because it's like the first run through. But that would have been like 25. So that oil pump is mint. The joys of cars. This fucking pipe in here, there's a wee O-ring down in there.
It seems to be leaking. Lovely.
We've had to pull the whole manifold off, and we have an hour and 20 minutes to get to the dyno. Had a water issue, had a water leak. It's now filled with water. There's a pipe, oh you've seen there's that pipe down in there. Back together. In like, I don't know, that was like 30 minutes. Will she fire? Another last minute problem. The V-band's broken, so the, what do you call little bolts, are just trying to botch it back together. Right, so that's kind of gelled together. I have no idea how strong that'll be, but hopefully strong enough to hold that on for a little bit before we get a new one. So we were so close. Just up here, this core plug leaking,
Which is new.
and we've had the whole thing, all the heads pressure tested, but said people have not
Pressure
put
tested
it,
after that.
yeah, they've fixed the problem and then introduced a new problem and not tested. So no dyno, but we now have a running car that just is a wee bit leaky, which is a lot better than a car with no oil pressure. So today is a win. So our solution to our water leaking problem is a welder. So we're going to see if we can get a wee weld up on that. Because if it doesn't work, it's going to be difficult to get that replaced without taking the engine out. So if we can get a wee tack on it, it might just seal it up. Didn't work. What's happened, or what we think has happened, is the heads were pressure tested. They failed. Well, one of them failed. So what they've gone and done is they've changed the core plug. But we've just popped out the core plug that was the problem, and this is what we've got. And as you can see from the back of that, that is just busted to fuck. So we reckon they've pressure tested it, changed the core plug, but changed the wrong one and left this one in it, and then not pressure tested it again, which might mean the engine might have to come back out again, hopefully not, but as you can see, it is mega tight up there to get one of those back in. So as you can see, there's two core plugs in there. See that nice little silver one? You can see that is nice and new. The other one obviously we popped out, so Mark's loving it. Look at this. Oh, hi Mr. Fox. That's a bonus. It's been a long day. 5 hours. Engine out, core plug's done. Engine back in. Gaskets sealed. I'm not really making much sense because it's really late and we're really tired. But hopefully tomorrow she goes to dyno. Mark's put a massive shift in again, and it looks like we're winning. There is nothing leaking out of her, which is a massive plus. And it's time we go to bed. So we're at the dyno. We've made it. It's about, what time is it now?
10 past 1.
10 past 1. So we finished the car at 11:30. We didn't quite finish it. At 11:30 last night we got it together and running. We've had to do a couple of things like swap out fuel lines. We had this style before, they kept leaking, so we had to go with some blue hydraulic ones, which we might swap out later. But otherwise, we think it's ready. What's going to happen is it's going to go really well for the first 10 minutes. Then Chris is going to tell me I'm a bell end and we've done something wrong. But maybe he won't this time. Maybe. In my history. 5 degrees out. 5 degrees out. Chris has just checked the timing there. He's seen the timing light. So we were 5 degrees out. So he's just gone into the link and changed it. So we're now at 0 when we're meant to be on 0. The professionals are here. Getting a bit hot because of the way the back back's now set up, it's not very good, so most of the back panels are coming off her. These are the reason this car is together, all the sugar. So we're at 0.8 bar, we're about 408 at the hubs. So we're about where we were when it was its last engine. So it's running really fat at the moment though. You're like 0.6 lambda, and then so Chris is going to pull some fuel out of it, throw some timing at it, and now we're going to see about making power. But she's like, sounds really healthy. She's doing the right things. So I hate this. It's horrible. He's just waiting for it to go bang. Don't go bang. Don't go bang. We're at 0.9 of a bar, and Chris has tried to give it a wee bit more boost, but we seem to be able to not. So we think there might be a wee boost leak on it. So their guys are going to try and give it a wee smoke test just to see if there's any of the go-go juice gases getting out.
Aye. See a bit. That pipe and a tiny wee bit of back of turbo and a tiny wee bit there.
Checked turbo. There's a tiny wee leak, but not enough. So we need to check more things. The next thing we think it could be is that the turbo or the exhaust sits quite low. So the running gear is getting a bit of back pressure. So basically jack the thing up. So we've got a lot more area under here. That wasn't working, so we're looking at trying to make the exhaust come out. The exhaust is definitely choking it, so we're hoping this might make it flow a bit better. Taking the exhaust off because we think that's causing us the restriction. So we're going to try another run like this. this is showing us is that this is the run. Go on, you explain it.
I was just saying that run there had 8 degrees less timing in it, and it had 0.2 a bar more push. So we're watching the restriction on the exhaust.
So what we've got here,
previous run, new run we did here. You can see the difference in how it came on.
and we've not changed anything. The duty cycle is nothing changed.
Everything's the same.
Everything's the same. So what you can see is it picks up way, without the exhaust on, it's picking up way further. We had to pull out of it because there's no...
Well, basically it's been onto the next table in the cell, so that was it. It's pulled 8 degrees of timing from where it was, and it's also kind of flattened off the fueling was too far out there as well. So I trimmed with the fueling and I tried that should be good.
So, and we can't do that because we don't have a lambda sensor in there. There's no, like, so there's no way of us checking we're going to hurt the engine. So that's the limit, unfortunately, for today. So we're not where we wanted to be, but we know what we need to change, and it's basically that. Make this fatter, less restrictions, and we can turn her up a bit more. So we got to 494 at the hubs, so that's around about 560. What do you reckon, 560? Yeah, roughly around that. So a bit more to go, but I think that might do for a while.